Hello folks. Well, this video was actually inspired by a fellow known as Tim Gawlick, a subscriber and known to comment on my videos. Well, he sent me this Hyperfly at his expense, and I am so ever grateful because being the inventor, I love flying these, and since I donated 2 to the AMA Museum and 1 to the San Diego Aerospace Museum years ago before the fire destroyed all my remaining ones. So I didn't have any and I missed them. Well, it's been quite a few years since 2016, and since then I've obtained actually an original and also an Apache. You may have seen those videos. But to have a spare from Tim means I can fly and not be as cautious because parts are pretty rare and I want to fly. And since this is also a version that I don't have with the upgraded motor and radio, I'm really excited. I mean, they really are fun to fly, and you can do this actually with any single rotor electric helicopter that you wouldn't be afraid to hand launch. Many may have seen me fly my Honeybee with the no-tar theory, and some others as well. Well, I must say Tim gets an A+ for the packing, as it was an engineering skill to do that, as you can see. Everything came in great shape, and it really looks like it was very slightly flown. Thing is, it came as a combo package, which we introduced a couple years later, which included this radio. Okay, here's the rub and why this was a bad choice. I'm going to explain that, plus demo this fantastic gift for both radios. This is the radio that was made by Futaba to use with the Hyperfly after Tower Hobbies made a deal with them to put in a radio. It's a mode 1 transmitter. It's a 2-channel only, but the thing is, it was mode 1, and it's not very comfortable to use because if you're a professional pincher, this trim tab interferes with you there, as you like to slide on that. And second of all, this is the elevator. People in this country, the USA, we fly mode 2, which is the elevator over here. So, and that left and right is okay. So when we started flying the Hyperflies with electronic speed controls in them, that made a whole big difference because when you bring the throttle down, that would decrease the thrust and torque on the body, so easy to fly, as you've seen me do. This is the radio right here that I begged Chun Park of High Tech RCD to make. He didn't even want to make a 3-channel. Said nobody will ever buy a 3-channel radio. And I go, yes they will. Glider guys and whatever. But he went ahead and made it. But it was too late before they made the deal for this RC car radio at the time. And so here's your fore and aft and left and right cyclic. That's exactly right on a helicopter. See, to advance to a 4-channel helicopter, it was best to have fore and aft and left and right cyclic on the right stick. Then throttle and tail rotor would be on the left stick. So this was backwards to all of us who are used to rudder and throttle on the left stick and elevator and aileron on the right stick. So you could see why the guys who bought the combo had trouble and why so many complained about it a lot, especially after buying the combo. But overseas, they were a big hit because they fly mode 1 there. And this is comfortable to hold right here. And on the back, there's your throttle. Okay, so you could easily fly and run the throttle with this and fly like this. A fantastic radio, it still is. It's on AM, however, and crystal controlled, but it had reversing switches. My original idea for the Hyperfly was to give model airplane pilots a feel of flying a helicopter without having to learn to hover. It was hard to learn to hover back then, no gyros or anything. But even they couldn't even fly their airplanes with this transmitter. Is this like switching the brake and gas pedal in your car? And well, what could go wrong? Most of us used our regular 5-channel radios to fly the Hyperflies because they could fly like normal, and that could move us into 6-channel helicopters easily. But not with this radio. So I'm switching it out because I've flown heli so long, I just know I would invariably mess up. Let's go ahead and test the original radio. The only BEC is that little Zener diode right there, as I've explained before. All you need is that simple 5-volt Zener diode. It allows only 5 volts to pass from the 7.2 NiCad to the receiver. This is the stock battery. The 1100 milliamp is really heavy. Let's go ahead and turn on the radio and see if it works, first of all. And we'll do this, and this will turn on the receiver, but not the motor. There is no speed control. And I hear servo motion. So that all sounds good. Now see, I'm using left and right aileron right there. But there, you want to go forward, you've got to go forward with this one. And it's spring loaded, so the deal was just to let it go, because it would pretty much stay in forward flight, and you just do some pulsing like that. But that's how that worked. Okay, and this all looks like it's working really well. The way this would actually go is we would pick this up like this, and here's your arming switch. There is no throttle. It's wide open, and you hand launch it. Okay, I'm going to pull that receiver out of here, and we're not going to use the switch at all, so I'll unplug all this stuff. Well, I removed the old AM radio, the whisker kill switch, the wiring, and added the 30 amp brushed ESC with BEC and the orange light receiver, and bound it up to my Generation 2 DX8. So you can see that no one was thinking about the fact that this Attack Mode 1 radio would ever help transition a pilot to a full-size RC helicopter. You'd have to relearn all the controls. It was all about the bottom line. Well, most of us back then used our own radios, so we didn't have to worry about it. But right now, I'm installed my own radio again. Controls are in the right direction, and here we are. So here you can see your left and right, and fore and aft, all on the right stick. That's the way it is on all of our Nitro helicopters, and this is your throttle. Okay, I've put on a couple of these blades. They're not brand new, but they look like they're in pretty good shape. And I'm going to go ahead and plug the battery in now. And let's see what it runs up like for the first run up. Blue one is low, so the best thing to do when one is low is you raise that one. The kit came with very thin washers to put under the leading edge of the low blade. This increases pitch and raises the blade. And that thing has got a lot of power with that motor. Alright, that all looks good. Next thing will be to fly it. Okay, this has the big upgraded motor in it, so I'm anxious to get this. Thanks a lot, Tim. Here we go, into the sun. It really is flying great.
It really flies good, and especially on that big motor.
So thanks a lot, Tim, and we'll see you next time. Well, I'm absolutely loving it, and I want to thank Tim again for this version that I didn't have. Also, Ilea gets my special thanks for her camera work and support. God bless and fly easy. This is Dave the Night Flyer. We're 10-7.